Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It is the 23rd. It's October, and it's 2025. And yes, Skull and Bones is from Yale. My bad. Unbelievable. Imagine that. At any rate, I'm out in the desert right now, and I'm near a place that's pretty infamous. And strangely enough, there was nobody out there. Nobody out here whatsoever at all. And then suddenly, I'm seeing vehicles approaching me. So if I disappear, expect me to be on the news. It is what it is. But speaking of the news, I mean, we are looking at non-stop, never-ending distraction after distraction after distraction. It's incredible to me. Totally and utterly incredible to me. But stick with me on this video because I'm going to show you some things that you're going to need to know. Things that are actionable, things that you can use. You should have used 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year, 6 months ago. But if you haven't, use them now. So here, as they say, we go. See what I mean? You want to hear a funny thing? As of May, and as recent as yesterday, as far as I can find, did you know that the $500 billion that Donald Trump gave to all his tech friends for the Operation Stargate? Yeah, guess what? It's not even happening. It's not even going on. It's not even going down. It's unbelievably unbelievable. These dudes completely lied to everybody and played everybody. Or, like many others have postulated or speculated, Operation Stargate out in the middle of Texas, that's where they were building a large hadron collider, another CERN, but in Texas and larger than CERN. And then suddenly, after a whole bunch of time, they simply stopped building it. Yeah, after using everybody's tax money and stuff. Back in 2013, this thing was about 90% done out in Texas, and they just stopped. And now it's just an abandoned shell. And a chemical blending agency bought the SSC last year, meaning back in 2014. But here's what I'm saying. I think it was Minutes of Horror that came up with this idea. Maybe when they were building the Large Hadron Collider out there, that is currently the location for Project Stargate, where the president gave them $500 billion for this exact project, and it's not really doing anything whatsoever at all. And you can only find these things out by going to other countries and reading the news, because at least in the other countries, all these bad countries, they actually tell the truth, because why wouldn't you? We're the only ones where the 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗍 Act is being used against us. At any rate, maybe when they were digging the Large Hadron Collider in this area that's of high interest, because they were building a bigger than CERN in Texas, and then they were building Project Stargate in Texas, and both of them, they just stopped. I believe it was Minutes of Horror that said he thinks that they might have actually found an actual Stargate there. And that's why the whole area is of focus and this and that. And that's why when people are like, where's the building? What are we doing? Where's the construction? When are we finishing? We're going to slow down on that. We're going to slow down. So the $500 billion still went into something, just you ain't seeing it. It's all happening underground. And why do I say it's all happening underground? Well, because of this. It appears in a place that really doesn't get earthquakes, it is non-stop shaking in that area. Non-stop. 2.2s, 2.4s, 3.2s, 2.9, 4.3, 2.8, so forth, so on, and on and on and on it goes. And it's a strange thing because Texas ain't an earthquake type place. You see what I'm saying? So my point being, in piggybacking on what Minutes of Horror said, I believe he's right. I believe they're doing everything underground, but the people that should be building Project Stargate and the Hadron Collider that was supposed to be in the exact same area, we're not doing that anymore. I bet you they still are. I bet you they still are. I bet you they're just doing it underground. But I thought I'd throw that little piece of news out there for you. And speaking of giant wastes of money and such, isn't it queer that Amazon's AWS, their web services, Amazon's web services, they shut down all sorts of stuff all over the world, actually. Major websites. And you know what happened because of that? Their stock went up. Yeah, their stock went up. Isn't that crazy? What a fun thing, huh? You do the biggest internet snafu ever, and your stock goes up. Like somebody's rewarding them for that. You know, like, hey, can you do this for us? Can you do a test run? Can you do a kill switch to see if we can actually shut this down for them while keeping it up for us? Meaning the lizard people, the reptilians, the scumbags, the elites, the pathetic little parasites that run this world currently. Yeah. Good to know. Remember that, because that's real. In a real world, you do something that affects so many people for 15 hours, seriously, and you get rewarded for it? Yeah, that's a coup, homie. And here's two other things that I find really strange. Magically, in 7 minutes, two men with a ladder with a truck on it, in 7 minutes, they broke into the Louvre and stole priceless things. Priceless things. Crowns, all this stuff, this, that, and the other thing. Well, let me tell you my opinion. I've, in this lifetime, engaged in activities very similar to that. And let me tell you a secret. That was a complete staged event, a psychological operation, or an inside job, or all three combined one way or the other. Because there is no way in the world you're going to pull up to the Louvre on a Sunday morning, put your ladder up there, jump up there real quick with an angle grinder, and cut through the windows, get in there, rob the place, do all these different things, and get out of there on two motor scooters like that. Period. It ain't happening. You have no idea what the window's made of. The place is, I mean, how is it not high security glass up there? With an angle grinder, you took it all out and got all this done in 7 minutes? It's a distraction. It's a huge news story to keep everybody in the UK looking at the Louvre because, oh my God, royalty! Royalty's been robbed. We must all focus our attention on that and not pay attention to the digital ID. Yeah. But then you've also got the other side of the pond, as they call it, because this just happened. And again, I have life experience with both of the topics being in here, professional sports and apparently organized crime. It is what it is. It was a long life. I lived it. What are you going to do? But apparently all 5 of the mafia families are back. The Lucchese's, the Bonanos, the Gambinos, they're all back. Everybody's back right now, and they're rigging sports all over the place. And Cash Patel has been out there, and there's 31 people arrested. I will not be one way at all shocked if it's 33 by the end of this, because these guys cannot stop using the words Mason and 33 in every single solitary news story. And one of the people that they talked about that's very important, he knows everything about this, his last name is Mason. We have never seen the number 33 and the word Mason used so much in the media than we have in 2025. You know what that is? That's them telling each other that full speed ahead. We're on this. The plan is going forward. We're going to put the cap on the pyramid, and we're going to bring in our new world order, which they are. They're doing it right now. But, I mean, are you kidding me? First of all, I worked for a major football player years ago. I worked with him for weeks, and me being me, we talked all the time, and they were playing. And I actually asked this guy one time, I said, hey, in that one game, I'm not going to say any names, and I was a YouTuber at the time, and I never actually put this out there because it is what it is. I asked him how a ball was dropped. I said, how does a wide receiver catch a ball in the most important game that there is? And he said, a lot of money in football. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But still, how did he get two hands? One of the best receivers in the NFL, how did he get two hands on the ball and then drop it? And he said, a lot of money in football. And I went, and he went, and right there and then, I mean, I was a diehard football fan my entire life, and I found out that it's rigged. Because, of course it is. It's massive money. They have to pull in enormous amounts of money to pay these guys enormous amounts of money, which they never would do if it wasn't such a useful tool for them. Because it keeps people drunk, it keeps people divided, and it keeps people paying them and wasting their time that they'll never get back watching sports. Period. That's all this is. This is a distraction from the Charlie Kirk psyop that's going horribly wrong for them because everything's completely falling apart, but it doesn't matter. We could prove it right down to the DNA, and you know what will happen? Nothing. We proved without a shadow of a doubt Sandy Hook was not what it said it was supposed to be. One of the kids died twice. He died at Sandy Hook, and then he died again in a school stabbing in Pakistan. You know how we know that? Because it was on the news. You see what I'm saying? We proved that 9/11 could not possibly be done the way they said it was whatsoever at all. It was an inside job. Israel had a huge hand in it, as well as whoever else, and George Bush Sr., because they had to shut down Wall Street so that they could cash in a bunch of stocks that they stole from Russia when they destroyed Russia, thinking they destroyed it for good. You can bring all that information and it'll never go anywhere because they run the system. They wrote the laws. And if you get too close to the fire, they'll burn you, period. But isn't it crazy we've got these two separate activities going on at the same time? And last but not least, do this. Get your money out of their banks right away, as soon as you possibly can, and turn it into gold and silver. Because Amazon shutting down the AWS was a test run. We saw the World Economic Forum do it last year where they shut down banks. People's balances went to complete zero. Get whatever you have saved in the bank for your IRA and 401k, get it out, turn it into gold and silver, and have them send it directly to your house, period. And once you have it, you need to do things like this, because I can't imagine you haven't been doing it for the last 15 years. But most people were watching YouTube and just using it as entertainment. But a lot of you understood that we were going to live through this SHTF collapse, and it's coming. I'm going to leave you links for all these different websites that'll help you to find other like-minded people, but you can do it off the internet, okay? I'm going to give you every single way to connect with people offline. Do not leave a digital footprint behind you, okay? Don't. And the beauty is what I do when I'm traveling is I'm actually meeting with people like you that actually did follow my advice, and they are ready. They are ready. It's called a network. People should have been building a network for years now, but instead they've been distracted with this, that, wiffle ball bats, all sorts of things. Do this ASAP because things are coming to a head. They're talking about crazy things like all sorts of anomalies in outer space, whatnot, and whatever. We've got the entire internet shutting down, and then the company that shut it down, stock skyrocketing. That makes no sense in a real world. And then all of a sudden we've got Kash Patel talking about the mafia like we're back in 1990. I grew up around these guys, seriously, and I asked one that was high up, second up. I grew up with a kid. I said, dude, how do you guys make money these days? He said, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. And this was 8 years ago. He said, Richie, we should have became politicians, man. And I laughed, but I laughed knowingly. At any rate, Richie from Boston, if those lights are gone, notice? That's not good. Oh, did you hear that? Now somebody's shooting. Whatever. If I never upload again, I'll see you on the news. Richie from Boston. Use the links and do it now because things are coming to a head. These guys are nervous. Bill Gates is make-believe meat. Yeah, it went from $270 for a stock down to $1. People ain't buying that, which means it's not hey, people figured it out. Nope, they'll just do something. They'll force it. They'll force it. They'll force it. Digital ID? Well, look what just happened. The Louvre got robbed. If they all had digital IDs, that wouldn't have happened. I mean, come on, man. At any rate, Richie from Boston, I got to edit this and upload it, and I'm out.